Hey, what's up everybody? This is Rich from Torch Woodworks coming at you with a video that we're going to be using the Ortur Laser Master 2 15 watt for this video. I know I've done a lot of CNC videos. I'm kind of transitioning to doing some laser videos too. In this project we're going to take something like this, just a black powder coated flask, and we're going to turn it into something like this. Hopefully you can see it and how easy it is to do that with the Ortur Laser Master 2 and how little steps there are to do it in light burn, and I'm going to show you how to do it now. So let's get started. Okay, so we got light burn set up, we got the laser attached to it. The first thing I do, because I don't have a set I don't have my laser attached to my MDF board, I always will start out by choosing the pen and drawing a line like you see there. So I would just draw a line like this, make sure it's straight. Alright, and hit escape, and then go back to this, and then I would have my laser burn this line onto the MDF. The reason I do this is because I want to have a straight line when I am setting up my piece on the MDF. Now if you haven't moved it since the last time you used it, you don't have to do that. So since I still have that line and I haven't moved it, I have my line right here. Alright, so for this flask we are going to be doing a Jeep flask. And so let's find something on Google just so I can show you how to use the trace feature in light burn. So let's put in Jeep SVG. Alright, and then we'll go to images, and let's see, this is going to be a donation to their raffle for the Jeep Fest, and I just need something simple like this. This thing's pretty cool right here. I know we have all this stuff in there blocking it, but I'm going to show you how to use the trace feature. Actually, let's save it. Alright, let's go to downloads, just type in Jeep. Alright, and we're going to go into here. We're going to go to import up here. Go to downloads, we'll click on the Jeep. Alright, let's zoom out. I'm going to right click on it and hit trace image. So right now you see that it doesn't have any of these. You can zoom in. It doesn't have any of these words actually copied. That's because that's being weird. That's because of the threshold. Now if I would move this threshold over, it would start including those words. So you can see right here some of these words are included in these carved areas. A lot of times I'll hit fade image just so I can see these lines. And you see in right here it's including some of these because the threshold is so up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and zoom back in a little bit, and we're going to move that threshold back up until all the words go away, just so we can kind of get a perfect thing. I don't think any of, look, you see right there, there's a couple kind of weird spots, and you can kind of go up or down till they go away. And sometimes you're not always going to be able to get a clean image. And, you know, that's okay, because we can go in and clean it up later if we need to. Looks like there's a couple little blips. There's one right there. See if there's any over here. Zoom way out so I can adjust it. No, looks like the rest is pretty clean. Looks like there's one right there. So what we'll do is once we get the image we want, we'll just hit OK. Alright, it's going to put it into this. Zoom way out, so let's make it way small. Alright, put it on around that line because that's where our flask is. Alright, now let's zoom in and see if we can clear up some of these things. So what we'll do is we'll right click, ungroup, and we're going to click off of it. Now you can see some of it, like you're going to have some squiggly lines and stuff. Go ahead and click on it, delete it. Click on it, delete it. Now this you're not really going to be able to do anything with, but you know, for a free file it's not really that big a deal. So we got a bunch in here. So let me go ahead and go ahead and delete all these. Okay, I think I got it. So what we want to do now is we want to make it a little bit smaller because I already know that's not going to fit. So what we're going to do, kind of move you over so you can see, is let me turn on the see, there's the line that I put in with my laser. I fired that line in there. So we're just going to line up this so it's completely even on that line. So now I know the image is going to be correct, this way at least. So that way it kind of ensures that you have a nice and lined up image. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to frame it. And if you hold down Shift and Frame, what it's going to do is show you where on the flask it's going to be at. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift Frame and just kind of see where we're at. Alright, that image needs to go down to the left. Alright, let's do it one more time. We're going to hit Shift Frame. Alright, the image is still a little bit big. One more time. Okay. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on the flask as well. But you want to make sure that the power is set up to very low whenever you do it. So it's right here. I don't know why I can't see it better. There we go. Mine's at 0.5 power for whenever I fire it. So whenever I'm doing how do I turn this back? Anyway, when it's at 50% power, then I can it's at 0.5 power whenever I'm trying to frame it, so that way I know it's not going to burn any of my images. So let's go ahead and move this over here. I don't know where that's going, so we got this image right here. I got it set for 60 inches per minute and 85 power. I got it for 2 passes right here, and I do overscanning by 4%, which is 0.04. So overscanning means it's going to go past the image slightly and shut off the laser. That way it kind of it avoids getting overburnt on the edges. It works really well for wood. I don't know how well it does or doesn't do with the flasks, but that's my settings for that. So we have the output turned on. Let's double check one more time. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to focus it on the actual laser so you can see what it's doing. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the Shift Frame just so you can kind of see where it's at, or see what I'm talking about when I hit the Shift Frame. You can see the laser is at a lower level, so it's not actually doing anything. I can see that this thing's off just a touch. So let me pull this corner down. Because of that line, I'm able to see that it's off a little bit. Situated. Alright, let's hit it one more time. Just double check. Still think it's off a little bit. Okay. No, that's pretty dang close. So now with the fixed focus, I know this is good because I've done several flasks before this video, but I move it into the center and then take your little measuring thing and you want to measure it to make sure it's the exact height. Now for Flask, because it has a little bit of curve, I have it just slightly lower than that. That way whenever it goes down to these little curved areas, it burns it better. So it's just slightly back. So that's ready. Alright, double check speed and power, we're good on that. And we are ready to go. So this carve, and I could probably speed it up a little bit. I haven't played around with the speed much, but it's saying this is about a 28-minute burn. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get this thing started and we'll see what it looks like. I messed up on that I realized it. But when you move it manually like that, you always have to hit home so that it can reset where it's at. Alright, so let's double check, make sure it's still in line. So what would have happened, because I moved it, it's thinking it's right here, but I moved it to the center, so it's going to be off by however much I moved it. So make sure if you move it manually like that to check the height of your laser head, make sure you home it afterwards so it's ready. So now it's ready, so we're going to go ahead and hit start. Alright, so after it's done burning, that's what you're left with. As you can see on the edges, it's not quite off yet. What we're going to do is we're going to take it up and we're going to hit it with some soap and water and then scrub it with a magic eraser marker, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Alright, so what we're going to do first, we're going to put a little bit of soap on there with some water and just kind of rinse that soot away a little bit, just add some water to it. Kind of like that. And then take a magic eraser marker that I've used before, and we're just going to scrub it. Get every area that got burnt, and it'll bring out, see, before that was black, now it's silver. See, you'll get some leftover stuff on it, and just keep hitting it till you get all the areas the same color, and you'll end up having something like that. We'll dry it off and I'll show you the end product in just a second. Alright, so there is the end results. Trying to get it so all the shadows, you can kind of see that it's all silver where it was lasered. And I mean, that's it. That's how easy it was. We converted the image off of Google, cleaned it up a little bit in Lightburn, traced it in Lightburn, and then started burning, and 30 minutes later, cleaned it off for about 30 seconds, and you're left with this. I sell these for $25 a pop, and they sell really well. I've sold probably almost $700 worth in a couple days that I've been pushing them a little bit. So that's what your final product is. I appreciate you watching. If you got any questions, just hit me up in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time.